What's up, guys? It is the Bad Wolf. Once again, the man in black. Well, sometimes also in blue. Here to give you guys, oh, yeah, the final DS-11 breakdown for the passport, national, state citizen. Let's get going. All right, once again, guys, it is the Bad Wolf. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Make sure you hit that bell, like, and subscribe. Subscribe. I am either back on duty or probably about to go back on from my vacation. So thank you to all the people who reached out to me just to check in, tell me your success stories. Um, I mean, we've had so many success stories, guys. It blows me away in such a positive way and fashion to see you guys take this information, my life's work, other people's life work, and do something positive with it. So that just goes out to all the great people out there, and to all the naysayers and the people who don't believe in this, or they think we're just, what do they call them, YouTube attorneys or whatever else. That's funny because we keep winning. And those people keep watching my videos and learning for themselves. And shout out to the Department of State, because I know you guys watch my videos too, for making the positive changes that you guys have been doing, and the rest of the government. Um, as you guys know, we still have a long way to go to root out a lot of corruption and BS and people out there subverting our rights under the Constitution in whatever branch of the legislative, judicial, and executive that they may be. We will shine a light. The bell has been rung, and that which has been heard cannot be unheard. So, with that being said, let's get going. All right. So, everything that I know, we now know about the passport. All right. So, let's start off with passport card. What do we now know? Well, we know that internally they have changed some of their systems, their grading processes, and so sometimes your passport booking card will not have the same number of stars. Okay. We know that the passport card, in many places, not all, remember, everything here is education, entertainment purposes only, so do your own due diligence. We know that the passport number is and can be used for tax exempt reasons, purposes, and sometimes purchases at various stores. Not all of them honor it, some do. Generally, though, if you want to be tax exempt with your purchases, you do need to go to your state Department of Revenue and apply with a religious or tax exempt or private thing that they can recognize. And so mote it be, you will not have to pay taxes on things. That's how it works. We also know that the other number is and has been used for insurance purposes. Don't ask me. Okay. I haven't tried it, but I have had numerous people inform me that they've used that for various insurance type reasonings and ways, and that they've been overseas and used it. Um, I cannot personally confirm that, but I've had multiple people tell me that. All right. So we know that when looking at the, let's see here, card, for some people keep asking me to this day. So we will bring it up. All right. Let me share the screen. So we now know on the passport card right here is where you can find the stars. Okay, so here's the passport number. Let's see if we can just make the picture bigger. Okay. So this is the passport number that people have used to be tax exempt. Not all places accept it, but many do. This is the number over here that people have used for insurance purposes. Other people have told me that they've used this with their insurance company and over here for insurance purposes. They all should link back to this one. Now, this should be just a sample card. I do not know this person. It's just on the internet, so I'm sure it's just a blank. But here they still depict it as one, two, three, four, five. This is where your stars are located, not these over here. These are control. Okay. These are your stars. We know that the lowest is one. We know that there's a two. Generally, most people get a three. And sometimes, with or without the explanatory statement, people have gotten four or five. Why is that? Okay. When you do the passport the correct way, you are put on the do not detain list. Unless it has a one or a two, if you get a three, four, or five, you're on the do not detain list. We now know, with the help, allegedly, educationally speaking, with the help of the AI and plugging in the correct information where I told it to read thousands of blogs out there on people talking about the stars, which are also called the asterisks, to summarize and hypothetically come up with what these mean. So now, based on Chat GPT, my own research, and other people, some things I can and cannot say, we're going to understand that one and two means, just like anything else in the military, the more stars you have, five-star restaurant, five-star general, five stars the way to be. Now, some people have asked me, but Wolf, how did you know about this? I didn't. I was contacted by a wealthy individual on the East Coast, very wealthy, very private. And in those days, he sent me his 127-page explanatory statement where he talked about and showed that he had a five star. I didn't know if he meant all these stars or this, that, and the other. If you pay close attention, you can see that these three are not the same as these five. Okay. I'm not talking about the holograms or this one over here, this one over here. This is hypothetically, have to say that, for security purposes. How else do I know about this? Because a long time ago, when I asked, just being curious, the Department of State, they said this is considered national security. They said we cannot tell you any more information. So I said, okay, I guess that this is where the exploration stops because there's no way they're going to give you any information to say this. But in them saying that these were considered national security, having to do with your nationality, see this? Okay. Now here's a different version of the same basic one, and she's got three. Once again, you've got your three over your control over here, your normal things, et cetera, et cetera. But three, they don't do this on accident. If they didn't do this at all, which I'm surprised they still do, I'm surprised they just haven't encoded it into the barcode completely. But this allows certain people to know what's going on with you so that it's still considered private. This is just my thoughts on there. Can't prove it, just my thoughts. Okay. So we know that two, one, and two are basically just U.S. citizens. Okay. Also considered to be like people to watch, but not necessarily threatening. We know that the third one here, which is what most people get, it shows a mix of being a national and a citizen, called being red zoned. It's okay. We now know it's okay. Still better to have four or five, but it's okay. Because as long as you do the passport the right way, they encode it into the card and book. Obviously, four and five are higher quality, which means it's harder for them to arrest you. But anything from three, four, and five up, you are essentially on Well, once again, the do not detain list, but all that means is that they will and can keep an eye on you. Now, on that same list, the theory is that there are also bad people who may or may not have, you know, 3, 4, 5 stars. We don't know, but they're on the same list. It's a broad list. But if you haven't and you're not doing anything bad, then it's understanding that like you're on there because you are considered an official guest. You're considered a state citizen. You are higher value. We've seen this when people have gone through certain checkpoints and they've reported back to me that they were given VIP treatment. So the 3, 4, or 5 star all work. Just 4 or 5 are technically better, but the passport itself, when you do the process the right way, is all that you need. So do not keep trying to redo the process. Just when it expires or if you lose it, then yes, do everything the correct way and keep it moving. All right. So that is basically all that we have been able to learn and ascertain on the passport card. Um, Also, let me see. Let's get back over there. One more thing. Let's see. Backside. See if we can see it. Okay, so if we look on the back, very small. Let's try maybe this one. Okay. There we go. Okay. So right here it says valid only for international, which means everywhere. Even right where you're standing now is international to somebody. So international land and sea travel between United States, Canada, Mexico, the Caribbean, and Bermuda. So you can use this card to fly, but not overseas. They're going to tell you that. So that's why right here where it says valid only for international land, we are on international land. How do we know that? Because it says and sea travel between the United States, Canada, Mexico, and the Caribbean and Bermuda. So all of this is international land. So you may use this to travel on land and by sea and fly within the United States. Okay? But not outside of. You have to have a book for that. So now let's go and take a look at the book. Okay. So this is the old one, which I still have. And in the old days, the stars were right here on the left side of George Washington here. Okay, Benjamin Franklin, just kidding. On the other side of Benjamin Franklin, right here, it would have the red stars. This is how they used to look. This is what they used to do. You must sign your book here for it to be valid. Okay? Now, let's see if we can find the inside of one. If not, I'll just have to do it on mine. Uh, not seeing it. Wait, let's see if we can find it on this old one. Okay, so here's an older one. Once again, you can see this is all well, this actually is somebody's, but they have all their information blocked out. So here you can see he has a two star. Are you guys seeing it? So they basically are saying you are just a straight United States citizen. But because you're in the family of the United States of America, they're going to say this is both. So they're saying he's easier to arrest, still has a national side, but everything in here makes it his information makes him lean towards being just a U.S. citizen. He's given more U.S. citizen information, contacts with the public, etc. So he's a U.S. citizen. Now, for military people, they generally get four right out of the gate because they're considered trusted. So, U.S. citizen, slave. Military people and certain people related to them or whatever else getting four out of the gate because they can see who you're connected to in their computer system. So they get usually four. Now, let's take a look at the secretary's message here, written in three different languages. It says the Secretary of State of the United States of America hereby requests all whom it may concern to permit the citizen forward slash national. Did you see this? They didn't say these are the same thing. So if they gave this to you, it's because you can be one or the other just by circling which one you want or lining out one and leaving the rest. This was your choice, your declaration. You have to do it. Now, this was in the old days when this page here was paper, and you can tell because you can write on it. The new ones are laminated. But it says here, concerned to permit the citizen forward slash national of the United States named herein to pass without delay or hindrance. This goes for police officers and sheriffs and marshals too. When you show them this, they are supposed to let you go unless you've done something illegal or criminal, or they have RAS, reasonable articulate suspicion that you've done a crime. Otherwise, they are impeding with the Department of State. It is a federal offense, and they have to have a reason to stop you. Not because you got private plates. Now, no plates? Yes. Private plates? No. They're interfering with interstate commerce. Don't believe me? Ask the cities and counties that have been sued by people through me and on their own by learning this if you don't believe me. Or look up yourself. And in case of need, to give all lawful aid and protection. So wherever you are, if they are a member of the United States or an ally or a police officer or a judge, lawyer, marshal, sheriff, they will be in derelict of their duty if they do not give you lawful aid and protection. This is the law. And it says it in two different languages. I think this is Spanish. I think this is French, even though I haven't spoken either of them in a long time. But yeah, yeah, Spanish, yeah, that's French. All right. So there you have it. And of course, in the book as well, there are stars, but the stars in the books are on the edge right about here on the paper pages. It's a security feature. You need a black light. We also know that within the books, in the back center, right about here, is the chip that they use when you walk through to scan it, and it tells them all of your information. Do not get your book near a microwave. It is very bad for the chip. Right here, not valid until signed. We also know that the banks will take the book. Many of them will not take the card because the card does not have a place for you to put your signature on. We also know that indirectly, the passport is also a national ID, though it's not an official national ID. It is an ID of nationals. And it is also your declaration of being a national. This is why they generally, if you read their information, it says if you want the certificate of nationality, you must apply for it through your DS-11 passport application. So your passport, book, and card are your national IDs. So because they offer this, they do not have to, though we've sent them hundreds of thousands of requests for a national ID and a certificate, they have not done so yet because there's not enough people awake to overstand this information and get on board. All the same basic things apply, except for the passport book can be used to go international, worldwide. It is not limited like the card. The card is cheaper. At this point in time, the card is $30, and the book, I think, is what, 180, 170, 180, somewhere in there. Always call to find out. When you want to get your passport, get all your materials together, contact your post office or some libraries, some federal buildings, some third party. We also know that you can go directly to a processing facility and get your passport done in 45 minutes. There's more now, but there's one in Chicago, East Coast, of course, West Coast, they're all over now, where they actually print them. Generally, you get your book within 45 minutes. The card generally comes in a week because it's usually sent out to a different place. When you go to these places, make sure that you inform if they ask or start to get, funny, just tell them you are a secured party creditor. All right. We also know that for some people, there are some rogue agents out there for the United States Postal Service or possibly the Department of State, we do not know, have been writing sovereign citizen on people's applications, which is a legal determination, which is something that they cannot legally do without getting into trouble. We know this because people have done some FOIA requests and they've seen it printed on there. So whoever is doing that, just know that that is a lawsuit. You can get into trouble because you're making a legal determination about somebody and you're putting them in jeopardy, and you're possibly tampering with how the person at the United States Department of State for Passport Travel Division may interpret that information. Just so you know, Department of State, so I know you guys like to do the right thing. Just so you know, United States postal workers and people who watch it over there as well. Make sure that your accepted agents know that they should not be putting in anything on there that they do not have the legal capacity to do, and that they should stay within the scope of what's on the actual information form that they fill out when they're inspecting us from the moment we walk inside the door. We know that too. Okay. Yeah. Just keeping everybody apprised of what's going on. No more in the dark. I mean, some things I guess we'll have to stay in the dark for now, but the other stuff, no, we're not playing that game anymore. All right. So a lot of people also ask me, how did I come across this information? What got me started? Like I said, before the guy on the East Coast, the multi-millionaire, approached me with this in the private, I think I was 19, and I went to the local post office, and the guy there, who I swear is an immortal, I'm pretty sure they, after mentioning that on, my YouTube video, suddenly he retired. But anyway, so he ends up telling me that they no longer make the DS-11 with the option of state citizen on there, and that it's all about how you fill it out. Wasn't for him, and then the guy on the East Coast, and then the next couple of things I tell you now, yeah, I would not have known any of this. Nobody just wakes up and goes, huh, you know what? I think I know how to fill out the passport the right way. Yeah, I'm gonna start doing that and make some videos. No, I was put on this path by people inside of the agency or in the know by being wealthy, and him sending me his 127-page explanatory statement, which covered like the W8BN he put in there. Um, so he had access, or his people had access to America's jurisprudence book. Took me a long time to find these. There's actually a set of three I have up here. Well, I've got a whole set of all different things, but there's three in this area where you can research this information under aliens and citizens, where it will tell you about the difference in the citizenships and nationality. All right. Uh, yeah, I mean it's tons of reading. So to those, so what name should we give the so-called, lawyers, or what should we call them? So if they call us YouTube lawyers, we'll call them wannabe private experts, wannabe private lawyers. That's what we'll call them. Wannabe private lawyers. They think that they know about the private, but they don't. So they're giving their 2 cents on it. Touche, mon frere. So how can we prove that there's a difference between citizenship and nationality? Because on the bottom of the DS-11, it says I declare under penalty of perjury that I'm a U.S. citizen or a non-citizen national, which we know there are two types of, there's a non-citizen U.S. national and a non-citizen national. Those are two separate things. One is in Samoa and the other one is the rest of us. But how can we prove that there's a difference between citizenship and nationality when other places around the world do not have what we have here? A lot of them do not have a constitution like we have here. So their citizenship and their nationality are the same thing. But we were infiltrated with a secondary 14th Amendment, which made U.S. citizens. But what happened before then is that we were all state citizens. Then by law, under 8 U.S.C. 1101A, 22A and B, we were given the ability to declare ourselves, also per the 14th Amendment, to be either a U.S. citizen or a national. We can be both. We can be either one or the other. We have both. We were born naturally as a state citizen or national of the United States of America. And then we acquired the U.S. citizenship by the birth certificate issued from the state, not the hospital version. We then became a registered voter. We told them we were. We did our taxes. We checked off, yes, I am. So we acclimated or naturalized within their realm, their political jurisdiction of maritime jurisdiction and admiralty, as a member of theirs, like joining a gang. So let's go back to the screen and show you what I'm talking about. Shazam! Okay. So we're going to go to 8 FAM 301.1. 8 FAM 301.1, acquisition by birth in the United States. And look, passport endorsement guide is also in here. Well, la-ti-da. Okay. So it says here in B, national versus citizen. Bam, done. Thanks for playing. Just put it in your mouth. All those people who didn't believe there was such thing as a national versus citizen, right here. It says, while most people and countries use the term citizenship and nationality interchangeably, U.S. law, which is the green books you see, America's jurisprudence, differentiates between the two. Under current law, all U.S. citizens are also U.S. nationals, but not all U.S. nationals are U.S. citizens. This means you can choose, but there are also some nationals, okay, who live on just on the islands. The term national of the United States, okay, so they said U.S. national. So U.S. national kind of lumps together a number of different types because we have more than one type here. National of the United States, as defined by statute INA 101A22 8 U.S.C. 1101A 22. You notice how it doesn't say 21 to all my people out there who like to use the 8 U.S.C. 1101A 2021? Doesn't say that here now, does it? Kind of means I must know the law a little bit. But I will throw myself out there. The only thing I did mess up on years ago is I was not mentioning the A in this code out of casual use. But it's 8 U.S.C. 1101A 22. It states it right here. It includes all citizens of the United States and other persons. When they say other persons, they mean nationals who owe allegiance to the United States but have not taken or been granted privilege of citizenship. So here they're talking about nationals of the United States. And then down here, if I can find it, well, also down here, they talk about the United States, meaning when used in the geographical sense, because there's a difference between the physical ground, dirt, outside, pole, no fringe, correct Title IV dimensions, American flag, and the Alaska, Alabama, Hawaii, New York, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Illinois, geographical United States, and the corporate UCC 9-307, letter H, location of the debtor, corporation located in the District of Columbia. Those are two separate things. And the second one, the latter, is the U.S. citizenship. The former, this one right here, highlighted still, is your state citizenship and nationality. They are separate. The government is telling you, not perfectly in all of their applications, but the states are hiding it because they don't want you to know. Because then you'll understand that they don't have jurisdiction over you just because you're in the same area doing business as your birthright nationality has jurisdiction and rights and freedoms and liberty. So I know one of them over at the Department of State, at least, or their AI, watches this because I've seen that they've made changes and they actually were for the positive. They got it right. Also, there's 8 U.S.C. 1401A, which also means a citizen of the United States, a national born, but it also includes the other variations of the other types of nationals and citizens that we have. We have more than one going on here. If we go back up here under just citizenship by itself, they're talking about this may either be acquired at birth or naturalization subsequent to birth, meaning after. Acquisition of citizenship at birth embodies two legal principles. Uh, Ju, Jus Soli, law of the land, which is the United States of America, and Jus Sanguini, which is the law of the bloodline. Through your bloodline, you have a right to these things. But these are generally based on statute, corporation. Okay, so we've proven that. Now let's go to 8 U.S.C. 1101. Okay, I like to go to Cornell Law EDU because I know they watch my videos as well, and they usually make uh, changes if I find something wrong. What is this? Okay, something. All right. Oh, this is Cornell Law. Their symbol change looks weird. All right. So we're going to drop down to the non-national of America code, which is 21. This is where everybody gets it. So 8 U.S.C. 1101 A 21 says the term national. Well, here they're talking about if you were born in the District of Columbia. How do we know? Also, thank you, Department or Cornell Law, for changing this to the appropriate way. So here it says the term state includes the District of Columbia. There you go, right out of the gate. Do you see any of our states in here? Do you see anything in here that says America or one of our 50 organic states? No. Puerto Rico, Guam, Virgin Islands, none of these have a star on our flag. They're in the family, but not one of the stars. So this is the wrong code. I used to use this one and then I was challenged on it. I went back to double check my research, found this site, seen this link. Without this site and link, I would have never have known that. And I would have led all of you guys astray as I did my first couple of months of learning this. I have changed years back. Do not get hung up on a code. They are sometimes subject to change. This is a wrong code. Unless you're trying to claim this for a specific reason, then yes, you can. Because 8 U.S.C. 1101A 22 A and B state that you can be either. The term national United States means a citizen of the United States or be a person who, though not a citizen of the United States, owns permanent allegiance to the United States. Let's look up the definition of United States. Okay. So here they're talking about the organic United States of America. And how do we know that? It says, except as otherwise specifically herein provided, meaning other places it may be something different. When used in the geographical sense, which means America, or it means the continental United States or America. So everybody in the family now. So check it out. Alaska. Now they abbreviate. They're not going to put all 50 states. You're supposed to be smart enough to understand that it means all of the 50 states. So Alaska, Alabama, blah, 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 Wisconsin, Florida, whatever. Hawaii. But here, they're also talking about the real land that we own, a territory also in the family, but not one of the 50 stars. Puerto Rico, Guam, and Virgin Islands, because there's two different Puerto Ricos, two different Guams, two different Virgin Islands. There's the corporate version, and then there's the geographic version, and they're both in the United States of America. But on 21, they're talking about the corporate version, which really, if you wanted to be technical, means that in the other version they should capitalize these in full, but we'll leave it alone for now because this is the organic version. But notice how there's no District of Columbia in here. You see that? Because we don't own it. It is its own thing. It has its own flag, its own government. It has its own constitution. It is its own thing, but it's in the family. Like if I was an honorary member of the, I don't know, Johnson family, I don't have Johnson blood, but I can be honorarily in the family. I do my own thing, so I'm not underneath the Johnson family laws in their house unless I do some damage or something, just like the District of Columbia. But I'm in the family. But look, here they're telling you they're not considered United States of America. So what are they considered? The United States corporation. And the corporation is in our family too, working alongside the United States of America. But the United States of America is quiet because it's we the people. The United States corporation is the shareholder, is the U.S. citizen, are the states, all of them are the ones who speak through the business and commercial maritime jurisdiction. There's no District of Columbia. It's not American. All right. So what about this code? Okay, well, let's go to 8 FAM, what is it? 505.2. Let's talk to the Department of State. Passport code procedures. Everything you want to know about the procedures is right here. Well, not all of it, but you know. They also have the word and here in red, and the applicant will remain titled. When you see it in red, talking about the national. And look, until 2026. So let's see here, up here. So this is updated last year, this time. I know this because I know almost all of this by heart. So I can actually literally tell when they change a word in here. And they have. They've also changed some colors in here, but that's fine. Okay, now what is interesting is that they no longer write here. Okay, they've changed it up. It used to have one big graph. Now it's this, what do you want to call it? But this might be okay. This is new for me. I didn't even expect to see this. I'm doing this on the fly. Oh, the Department of State. I could kiss you guys. No, no diddy, no diddy. So here, guys, look, they've been watching my videos enough that when we've talked about this, they've changed it. Oh, actually, it's this year. My God, I'm thinking, what am I, a year ahead of myself? Must have time traveled. It is this year. So they just changed this a couple of weeks ago. You can only use two endorsement codes per passport book and application. Generally, as far as I know, like up here where it says use only when authorized by the CAPPT-SIA, which means those people trying to do diplomatic passports as a member of the Congress or whatever else, you cannot and should not be using this. They may come after you. You should not be using the O5. Look, now it's an O5I code, an O5J, O5H. This is new. So, as I said before, we now know that they've expanded the codes. They've expanded something. They've changed. We've all changed the game. Now, we don't have to put all. It's not 09 all. It's just 09. And notice here how it does not say um, only can be used by the CAPPT, not for these two. Because it says here in number 8, bearer uses an assumed name in addition to their legal name. We have this right. So Department of State, understand this. It says you have an assumed name. You're saying this, not me. I mean, technically, I'm saying it right now, and you're probably hearing me. So the bearer is also known as given names. Given name is your natural name. Surname is your legal name. You can go either or with these. They're telling you right here. It's not me. I'm not making any of this up. I could have kept this a secret since years back and just put things in whatever, and nobody would have known. You know how many people came to me when they, well, I heard there's a 09 code. Yeah, me and a handful of other people were the first ones to know about this on the public side and share it. I knew about this years ago, which is why I put it in my explanatory statement. I think my explanatory statement was the first thing to Google and YouTube for being like, oh, there's a new word being used and people are searching it. Yeah, that was done here. Explanatory statement, endorsement code. So look what they've done. They're showing you right now. This is the proper way that you have the right in capitalized letters. I don't know if the border should be on there or not, but I'm going to assume it is. To put this in your book on your endorsement page, you have the right. This is what they told us. It is your declaration. But let's go on and see what it says. This is all new. It's all new. The bearer is a United States national and not a United States citizen. A, placed in the passport book issued to non-citizen U.S. nationals. B, U.S. national. So non-citizen national falls underneath the same title as a U.S. national, as a state citizen. They no longer have the term state citizen in here, but that's what it is. Will be printed instead of USA. Now they're supposed to do this. We've had some people come return their stuff and they got it put in there. Others, not so much. Some of them went missing. Not that big of a deal. You can probably put a note in there or copy this section and then highlight B, add this to your explanatory statement that you want this printed. You want national or U.S. national printed instead of USA. USA is basically just saying everybody, all of these are under, or everybody's good. C, prior to the creation of this endorsement in 1992. So this endorsement wasn't created until 1992. This is, I think, 94 is when I did my passport, which is why for a limited time when they had this option of just checking off state citizen instead of U.S. citizen was on the passport. They since removed it, and now it's about how you fill out the document itself, which we will finish up in a second. It says the bearer status as a non-citizen U.S. national. So wait a minute. So, you know, let's just finish it. Was indicated by circling the word national or crossing out the word citizen in, or it should say on, the secretary's message page, secretary's message on the signature page. Oh, I guess because I used on it. Okay, anyway. Like I just showed you guys before. So this tells you now that the word national by itself, non-citizen U.S. national, U.S. national, and United States national. I think the only thing we're missing here is national of the United States, but these are all considered, if not the same, they're in the same family. You are a private and you're not a U.S. citizen. Just like when they say the word non-resident, non-resident means a state citizen if you're doing things privately. It means somebody from another country who lives here. It means you're private. In that moment, with your ID, you are not regarded as a citizen when you do this process the correct way. I would probably either have a professional printer do this for me or clearly print, maybe get a stamper. You have this as a right. Nowhere in here are they saying you cannot do this on these. But look, right here it says, nope, authorized by them only for this one. Look, now it's called 10A, no fee regular passport. But this is once again, only they can do it. If they didn't want us to do these two, they would have put the same thing there. These people don't generally make mistakes because they have a legal department who does the same thing I do privately, overstand the law. Now, even though we've already proved the national is a real thing, let's get ready to rumble. Let's once again make the government prove me right. So we're going to go to the GPO style manual, 2016 PDF. Okay, we're going to open up. It's open up to nationalities. The word nationalities is plural for the word national. National is long for the word nation. So you have your own nation. Nation is long for nati, which means native. So you are a Native American. Nati is long for nat, which means you're natural. You have all of that in this one word, but it's plural. T's, meaning more than one national. Well, how do we know what that is? Well, section 5.23 says in designating the natives of the states, the what? Natives of the states. So, in fact, I'm right. Once again, huzzah. Pip, pip, touraloo, and all that then. So, that then, natives. So, yeah, you can call me a native or a savage. I'm fine with that. The natives of the states, the following forms will be used: Albanian, Alaskan, Arizonan, Arkansan, Californian, Coloradan, Connecticutter, Delawarean, Floridian. So if you've ever used these terms, you were talking about a specific standing in the private as a state citizen if you just want to say you're an Albanian. But if you're down with everybody in one family, then you're a national. All right. So we've covered a lot. Appreciate you guys for watching. Oh, thought I wasn't going to go through the passport application. I had you for a second, though. Let's get back into it. Y'all ready? All right, let's take a look. All right. Everybody should be seeing this. Now, we know back in the day there was an accident conditions. Oh, well, still here, but they removed part of the section. But right here, it tells you that an explanatory statement is acceptable to tell them what you've been up to. You're telling them, I have not done any of these things. Then they're saying to the applicant, which we know is there's two separate things going on here. Okay, they used to tell you to line out this section, but it's confusing. Okay, depending on what you want, book, card. The large book is for a lot of travel. Um, the regular book is a little bit bigger, I think. Okay, so depending on what you want, boom, boom. Name, generally lowercase, last, first, middle name. END, this is your endorsement code section. Only two can go here. So generally it's just going to be 09. Now, don't let any of those agents, acceptance agents, tell you otherwise. So sometimes, oh, you can't mark there. Now, the only thing I did wrong here, it says use black ink only. Do not correct, just use a new form. So do not use blue, use black. But nowhere in this area over here does it say you cannot do this. But they are so used to doing this, they just do it. But you have the right to do it. And if they question you on it, you can say, well, where does it say I can't do it? Don't get mean or belligerent. If they seem huffy, tell them the Department of State says that there's nothing that sanctions that you cannot do it here, and ask to speak to their manager. Talk to the manager in private. Say the exact same things. Do not touch any of these, nor the expiration, nor this box. If you're going to do a name change or whatever else, then you would add the other code here. All right. Date of birth. You should know that. Sex, Monday through Friday. I mean, uh, whatever you are. Place of birth. We go city and country because we don't know if here they're talking about the U.S. corporation or the organic United States of America. I don't see an A there. Nothing's hyperlinked. I would like to assume it is, but we can't make any assumptions. So, city and your country, your birth. So, blah, blah, blah. America. Social. We already did one on this. If you have it, use it. If you don't want to use it, you have to include a statement of having not applied for, nor did you sign for a social security number. When I first did mine, I did not, but I did the SS5 process, updated it. So now I cannot say that I was not issued or signed for one because I updated it. So now I have to put it in here by law. And it doesn't really bother me because it is what it is. Keep it moving. Email. Technically, email is a commercial, I'm not even saying technically, email is a commercial apparatus, device, creation. How do we know that? Well, I don't know. Uh, James C. Lovett at yahoo.com, dot com, dot com. This is commercial. This is what this is short for. Just like edu is education. So, do I suggest putting this here? Nope. Can you? Is it going to hurt you? Probably not. They just want to be able to have more information, and they probably already have it anyway. And they can contact you if something goes wrong with your application or they need additional information. So, though it is a public contact and I am against it, it's your choice, as are all of these things. This is just education. Uh, Phone number, same thing. It's a product of commerce. You weren't born with one, so you don't need it. That's how you have to look at these things. But the social security number kind of ties into the private side and the public side. It's dirty, it goes both ways. So this one is somewhat mandatory, but if you legally have not signed or applied for one, then you can put all zeros here, get an affidavit notarized stating what I just said, turn it in. If they contact you and say, hey, you didn't provide one, resend your application in, or you can contact me and get or if you get the explanatory statement, it comes with a statement where the Department of State themselves said, yeah, it's not mandatory. We can't force you, but we really, really just want to have it. Now, I'm also against using a mailing address because they numbered our houses. But you have to have something here to be able to send it to them. So once again, you could use your RFD, you could use your PO box, whichever one you decide to use, even if it is your street, it's fine. But what I would do is I would put C/O and put your name here, or whatever name you want to be called, or whatever name you might want to use in the future that you want to start using under common law. You can do a private name change under common law after 5 years of doing this with as much stuff as you can, magazines, school, books, your electric, your cell phone, and DS-60. I think it's a DS-60 as an affidavit. You can send them all that stuff and they will change your name. But you can use this to get started. So then we put our city, state, like I might would go like say Florida, FLO. Remember the 2-digit FL? That is the corporation. FLO is the organic. Zip code, put whatever, and then either brackets or box it. Totally up to you. Country, America. List all of their names you have used: birth name, maiden name, previous marriage, legal name change. Now I'm still trying to figure out how to get them to accept a name change on your own. You can go to the state, but I don't believe as a grown ass man and national, I should have to go to the state to get my name changed. So we are working through all the legal. That's why it says here attach additional pages because they're giving you an out or a way in to do it on your own. But they're crafty. It takes time. You got to learn the law. Now, down here, do not sign, do not do anything until they are ready. Primarily, I mean, I usually leave all of this blank until I'm right in front of them. I've got my picture right here. I think you only need one now. You used to have two. You only need one. But check with them first. Let them fill out a lot of this. If they ask you, they say, "Oh, hey, you didn't fill this out," then okay, fill it in. Otherwise, let them do it for you. If you're using an explanatory statement, you don't have to worry about doing anything secret like the UCC 1-308 right here. It's already included in your explanatory statement. Some of them don't like it when you put this on here. So generally, what you'd want to do, if you're going to do it, I don't recommend, you don't have to, is I would wait until he's like, okay, go ahead and sign it. Then if you choose, put UCC 1-308, just something small, not all obnoxious, and keep it moving. Now, this page is for the real applicant. This page, which somehow goes missing, or actually, no, this is the page that goes missing. At least it went missing when I did my FOIA. Imagine that. Um, it's for the living person, hence why they have an open box. Okay. Now, since then, they've kind of changed it up a little bit, but you get what it is. So put your name here, last, first, middle, parents' information. I should just go city and country. America. No. Now people ask, why can we do this? Because they have both. We can choose. This does not take anything away from them. We're just saying, in regards to this application, I want them regarded a certain way. Have you ever been married? Remember, number 11 is the trick. It's a two-part question. Have you ever been married? It says, if yes, complete the remaining items in number 11. This sounds like that's all you should have to do. Now, full name of current spouse, year, place of birth. Now here they're asking U.S. citizen, yes or no. This is for you because it says, have you ever been married? Place of birth is going to tell them what this person is. This question is for you. When I first got my application, it didn't ask about being married. It just said U.S. citizen. And then underneath it said state citizen, yes or no. Same question. It's just two-part. They're asking you about your information. Because if you don't put, then they're going to assume you didn't see it and they may check off yes for you. So if you're married, put that down there. Once again, have you ever been widowed? So they're still asking about you. Now, moving on. Additional contact numbers. I wouldn't put anything. Occupation, that's a military term. Nope. NA, not applicable. Employer, military term, not applicable. Height, color, all that, yes. Plans, if you have it, we've already talked about that. Permanent address, complete if a P.O. box is listed under the mailing address. They want to rope you in to where can you legally be found permanently. This means jurisdiction. Juris. They want to know where can they say that you are always legally to be found. They do not like P.O. boxes because P.O. boxes are American. It is the post office, which is American. The United States Postal Service is corporate U.S. But yes, they are both still under the United States of America. But they do not like the P.O. box. Or if residence is different from mailing address. Once again, they're assuming residence means resident. That means you've switched sides to the corporation. But it says right here, you can use an RFD. So we put RFD, city. What I like to do is say the state is Texas. No zip. Emergent, and that's this is the gist of it. This is for jurisdiction. They want to know where can we always find your person. Then they regard that legal person as you. Where can we always find it? Oh, in 90210. Well, we own that, so we own you. Member, your emergency contact information. Now, you want to put your friend's name here? If they have a P.O. box, that'd be great. If not, you can use their address, city, state. I would put all zeros for the zip. Phone number if you choose, relationship if you choose. Have you ever applied for, been issued a U.S. passport, book, or card? Whatever your truth is, you use. Status of it, lost or stolen or in my possession, whichever one is your truth. Name as printed on your most recent passport card. Where is it? Submitting, stolen, lost, in my possession. Same things. Do not touch anything down here. If you do, they will be very sore at you. You get this face. Hold on. Oh, all right. So do not make them have this face. So do not touch anything down in here at all. Okay. Now, are explanatory statements mandatory? Nope. Not one video have I ever said it was mandatory. Is it good when doing a new DS-11 to have one that you can either get from me or from somebody else or make your own? Yeah, I'll tell you why. Because anything that you want to tell them and put on the record, you can. For instance, I do right to travel, so I put my information in there so that the government has it listed in one of their databases. Can you put other things in there? Can you tell them you're doing a micronation or whatever? Yeah, so I put in there. Do they like an affidavit? Nope. Here's actually one of the funny, cool things about the Department of State. They do not like affidavits. From my learning, it's because the affidavit represents or represents the United States corporation, commercial, U.S. citizen. They don't like it. They don't care for it. So don't do it. However, you can take your affidavit, remove the title. Yes, it's just this simple, and call it an explanatory statement. There is no official explanatory statement. Don't let anybody fool you out there. Oh, you have to get mine. It's not a thing. Not a thing. It means explain to us in statement form who and what you are, so we have it on record. Let us know. That's their job. They're supposed to. Okay, so that wraps up DS-11, everything that we've basically covered. Um, because I notice people watch too. I know he doesn't watch as much, but let's throw a shout out to one of the people who I can mention. And we're going to send a shout out to Colonel Vaughn Wilson of Copper Moonshine Stills. So we're going to go. This is one of the first people that that I found to talk about this. So you can go to his main site, which is this is his site, but his main page is coppermoonshinestills.com. Unless anything has changed, he really doesn't care to be bothered about the information on the site unless it's a still, or you want to go and see a show in Arkansas, which I would highly recommend. And as you see here, me and him do work together on certain things. We do talk. He's a good friend of mine. This is something I helped give him information on, 18 U.S.C 112. So he updates his site, and he's very passionate about this. I mean, it's not going to chew your head off if you reach out to him, but just don't bombard him. That's why he made the page so that you can read this for yourself. So obviously, the man knows a little bit about something. So here on one of his pages, where, like I said, he primarily sells moonshine stills, and he's got a great band. So go and see them. But here, beat the law with the state citizen passport. Now, I'm not going to necessarily say you're going to beat the law because they have ways of playing games, but essentially you get what he's talking about here is that this is how it can be done. All right. Of course, me nor him or any of our materials or whatever else do we assume any responsibility whatsoever in how you use this information, and do not expect everything to go and flow as smoothly as just reading this and thinking, oh, bam, I'm done. But I'm not going to go through the whole section here. Um, but a lot of the information that I already have talked about is contained in here. It breaks a lot of it down. Um, you can go through this and read. He will love the traffic. If you do talk to him, tell him the wolf sent you. But like I said, do not bug the guy. He's super awesome. Nobody likes to be, overly, bugged with things. All right. He talks about the legal fiction. This is some of the first things that I've read and I've seen. And then I've seen other people making videos based on this, and that's where all of them, unless I missed anything, got their start. Okay. Now, some of the smaller things we may differentiate on just because this is my baby now. I mean, it's his baby too, but I've learned a couple things like, the zip is, federal. So that's federal jurisdiction. So I do not include the zip. I do use and learn this from him, the rule-free delivery. Um, but right here, he then also says, then use all zeros for the zip. All zeros means is no such jurisdiction, no zip code. So, um, but yeah, so okay, so on this part, I guess he's talking about the mailing address more so. So yeah, it's okay to use it. Um, they kind of get their panties in a bunch if you don't use it on the mailing. So that's why we just put a bracket around there. But if you put in care of, it means that you receive mail there and they cannot construe it to be that you live there. All right. Some people instead of UCC 1-308, they put without prejudice over the signature, but I would not do this until after you have signed it, because then the deal is done. Okay, then he talks about if you already have a passport, if you have back child support of $1,500 or more, he's got a remedy and kind of talks about a little bit of here, so you can take a look at that. The passport process, he steps you through. Once again, you're going to get your even if you do it exactly how he's listed here, you're gonna get your passport done the right way. I just have worked with people to find the endorsement code. Um, this is just my take on place of birth, the city and country. I originally did his way 100%, had no problem. But you have to find your way. Okay, there's no perfect one way is the only way. Right here, he says, do not underline nonsense and national. They will deny you. Yeah, because they don't want you tampering with this. It says, without prejudice before you sign. I, having talked to a lot of people who have done this, have heard people being denied if you do this before They freak out if they see anything in there, and I've been told that they will and can deny you. So my take would be not to do this until after they ask you to sign, then slide it in there. Get in there like swimwear. Okay? No to mom, no to dad, no to number 11. Yeah, all zeros for the zip. And then once again, uh, his version is almost identical to mine. Like I said, I just after being in the field and talking to people to see what works, what doesn't work, um, more just the people that had problems when I said, okay, let's look at it, let's correct it. That's why my direction is now a little bit different than his. That does not mean that his does not work. It still works. I'm just saying some people have had problems with their, little things like that. So that's why mine was based on his. I just, dealt with people. Oh, the agent said I couldn't do it this way. Then said, okay, well, let's look at it, try it this way. And then it worked. Okay. So you have to make up your mind. These are what he does and what I do. These are guides. It's not law. It's a guide. You have to do what you feel is right. If you feel, um, I mean, I wouldn't mess with the key things here in red that, these are the solid bullet points here. But let's say you want to put Houston, Texas, then put Houston, Texas, because you know what? You're not putting state of Texas. So it's okay. You're not putting it all in capitalized letters. You're you're okay. All right. Just so you guys know. All right. So then once again, you can read the rest of what he's got here. Talks a little bit about tickets, what you can do lawfully. He's got some codes. Talks about the do not detain, do not stop, do not interrogate. He has seen this firsthand. I have seen this firsthand. Okay. They do not like you to see this. Their cops are generally not supposed to show you this. Cops can technically get into trouble if they purposefully just show you that. But sometimes when they run it, you can be right there and you can kind of see what they're looking at. Um, if I was the legal department at the police department, I would probably get a polarized screen so that people cannot look at your computer on an angle. Just saying. Oh man. So yeah, like he says here, no police officer is going to inform you that you are on the red flag or restricted or do not detain list. They're not generally going to tell you. Some of them will, but once again, do not harass them. He just talks a little bit more about, he does have a fishing license down there, but as a national, these are my words now. You don't need one, but it does support because you're back to being a Native American. If you were born here in the United States or you naturalized, you are a Native American. You have naturalized directly or indirectly. You have it. They're not going to tell you that because they don't have any jurisdiction over the private, only the public. And the public is a U.S. citizen. Okay, then down here he talks about them with bank accounts and financial institutions. I've been telling you guys this for a long time. There's actually no law that says that you have to have a EIN or a taxpayer identification number. The passport can be used. But like he says up here, they will try to scare you into compliance. They also have the right to say no, but you also then have the right to sue them over it. Okay, so then he goes on some more. It's really good reading. He's got a little questionnaire at the bottom here you guys can take to see how much you've learned. And then it goes into a different language. Comprende? Mon capitán? So that's it, guys. That is the whole thing. That is all we have learned in all of these years. Um, Once again, it's all education and entertainment. I definitely want to thank each and every one of you guys for all the years of supporting me and on this journey. Something that started off as just a side whim to find the truth turned into all of this, where now I've got hundreds of thousands of people who follow me on and off this channel, my other channels, my other platforms, in real life around the world, many of which have never subscribed. So it would be nice if you guys would help me get to 100,000. We are at 81,000. And with each and every one of you guys that are going to watch this video, I already know it's going to go viral. Share, and let's get to 100,000. After that, I will not bother you guys anymore about subscribing. And as I promised, the plaque, the silver YouTube button will go right there, and I will dedicate it to you guys. And then hell, if you guys help me to get to the next level, I don't even know what that is. Gold, I think at what, 250? No, 500. Yeah, I think it's 500 then a million. Hey, if you watch my other videos, I made some promises if we get to those next two. All right. So I'm just saying. If you don't remember, I do believe I said that I would make a majority or all of my files free if we get to the 500,000 mark. So as long as I'm still doing this, the offer stands unless I retire, or I'm not needed, or you get the information is not needed. Who knows? We don't know where this is going to go. The fire has been lit. It's up to you guys to carry the torch. As always, guys, once again, hit that bell, like, subscribe. Check out my YouTube channel called the Badwolf Unincorporated, Badwolf Unlimited, which is the new one, and the Badwolf Media channel. What's the difference? Badwolf unincorporated is this one right here. Some people I didn't realize this, but some people take my videos and put them elsewhere, so people don't know how to find me. So my YouTube channel is Badwolf Unincorporated. Okay. Website also badwolfunincorporated.com or jamesclovett.com, or the original name blacksite32.com. If you go to blacksite32.com, you can see all my other social media channels where you can see me out in the world doing whatever, karaoke, having a good time, et cetera, et cetera. So you guys can see that I'm a real person, not an AI. Watch out for people out there who are scamming, trying to pretend to be me by creating their own similar website or similar YouTube or similar TikTok or Instagram or whatever it is. Be careful. It's not me. Okay. I only ask for money or donations through either YouTube, my specific channel, or blacksite32.com. I will never be in your DMs asking you anything. If you have the right me in the right groups and you message me, I may or may not get to you because I have a lot of people that message me daily. So if I do reach out to you, just know that you were picked. Huzzah. And I may only reply or answer one or two times, and then that's it. I'm out. I got other stuff to do with other people. It's just a lot. But not ever will I ask for money on any of the platforms. Donations, I do ask for. For some reason, people think if you're on YouTube, you're rich. If I was rich, I'd have a maid. I wouldn't have like a little wooden beam under my cabinet. Wouldn't have a messy desktop. This would probably be wiped down and look clean. Maybe some new carpet in here. And I don't know, it'd look like an actual millionaire's location. I put all my money right here in these books, and then I bring it to you guys and fill up my noggin. So you are not rich because you're on YouTube. All right. I would honestly say, if you guys really want me to be honest, with what YouTube does right now, keeping in mind that they have reduced what they give people, I would need almost triple what's coming in to be like, I'm good. I'm okay. I don't need nothing. You know what I mean? So, and that won't happen until probably I'm around, say, three or 400,000 people. But this allows me, with your donations, to supplement, to be able to keep my lights on, keep my kid fed. I am a single father for those people who don't know. Um, and yeah, that's about it. So Once again, thank you guys for taking the time to watch the video, sharing your successes, your tips, tricks, techniques. Thank you to all the people in law enforcement who do support me. Thank you for that. Thank you to the real people out there who operate in the municipalities and all the various levels of government who do operate under the Constitution and have made the changes and support. Thank you to all the Americans out there who support America, freedom, rights, and liberty. I'll talk to you guys later. As always, donations are welcome. Feel free, any amount is cool. Just put a note in there that's a donation so I'm not trying to figure out what you bought and I can't find anything. Thank you to Ramen and somebody else did donate. You know who you are. I forgot your name, or maybe you don't want your name on here, so I'll keep you private. Um, the little icon should be popping up about now. Feel free to click on any of them to join my other channels. And that's it. Go take care of yourselves, guys. Stay awake, healthy, and be looking for my other two YouTube channels so that I can give you guys some other fire information and you know, make you guys ponder some things you've never pondered before. Yeah, great fire information coming. I'll talk to you guys later. Have a great day. Wolf's out.